What is up, guys? Today we're doing something a bit different. Normally we look at like power picks, right? What's strong, but today we're taking a look at 5 weird builds that are fun and actually good. If you like this kind of more fun style video, then throw it a like. If we could hit 5,000, I'd definitely do some more. That would be awesome. Dislike it if you don't though, that's fine, and comment with your own fun weird builds and you could be featured in a future one. So first up we have Hybrid Devourer Fizz Jungle. Fizz has kind of been played as a bruiser before, like he was top lane a little bit. There was a kind of a phase, right, where people would build Triforce and stuff, but this time we're building him with heavy attack speed, and trust me, this guy wrecks. We're mostly focusing around his W in his actual kit. Like the passive part would do damage anyway based on their missing health. The active also just gives us a flat bonus damage on our attacks for the next 6 seconds, and yeah, like we attack more in those 6 seconds, so you're going to be doing more than normal. His ultimate gives us that 20% extra damage against the target it hits, which helps us kill people even faster, and that doesn't need to be AP for that to work. It's actually really irritating to play against. He's so tanky, he's slippery, so he doesn't take as much damage anyway, plus he actually does a crap ton of damage himself. You can build a lot of different things and make it work. That's part of the fun of it. You just open the shop, think, yeah, okay, that could work, maybe that works, and you just go off and one-shot people some more. I personally think Devourer into Frozen Mallet is so much fun. Like, they can't escape you. You just hit them once and suddenly they're absolutely boned. If you slow them, you're actually still going to kill them. Like, it gives you a decent amount of damage too. We can get a Frozen Heart for a bit of armor, Spirit Visage for some magic resist, and then offense wise we have so many choices. Blade the Ring King is definitely a ham option. Like, he gives us even more damage onto our autos with the percentage health plus the attack speed. Wit's End is really good. It reduces their magic resist, so our abilities do more and gives us attack speed. Even Gunblade is good. Like, this is kind of where the hybrid part comes in. A bit of AP, a bit of AD, some health back, and the active to make it even more impossible to get away from you. Next up is one of the more legit picks that you could use seriously and actually climb with, Sejuani Support. If we look at her kit, really, like, she has a lot of what her support wants, I guess. Engage, tanky, slow utility plus some damage. Her lane phase is pretty decent. Her base damage is good, so you can fight and you can win, but holy, that ultimate is not fair to play against at all. Unless you dodge it, it's so hard to fight 2v2. Like, their all-in is insane. Think along the lines of kind of a Leona, I guess. We have the Targons, which is going to give us a bit of sustaining gold, kind of building tanky like a Braum or something like that. We actually have a very similar job. We just kind of absorb some damage and lock them down for our teammates to kill. You are definitely more of a kill lane, high impact because of that ultimate, and that's the thing actually, like, you don't have to get ahead in lane like a normal kill lane. You'll still do a ton in team fights with your ult, lock people down, engage, all that good stuff. In teamfights, you're basically doing the same job as like a jungle Sejuani, I guess. You just don't last as long, I guess, because you don't have as much defense, and lasting longer is normally a good thing in and outside a league. We still have our slow, we're still a threat you can't really just ignore, and we still absorb a lot of damage, still lock people down, and that makes us a great support, honestly. People don't know how to play against it, they don't expect the damage you can do, and who doesn't love riding around on a boar throwing ice at people? Come on. This one is actually another legit pick right now, Tank Karma. I haven't seen that much of her really, and thank God for that, because she is one of the most irritating champions you can ever play against. Like, I'd even put her up there with a Sin. The point of Tank Karma isn't so much your burst damage anymore, it's about never ever dying while still killing things eventually. Normal Karma kind of falls off a bit, right? Her damage is insane early, like the poke damage, but then it falls off later and you don't do as much. Well, you don't have that problem with this build. We still have the good early damage and pressure, but then we move into this unkillable tank with shields and heals. Spirit Visage is super important because we're mostly using our mantra ult thing on our heal and our shield. This catches people out anyway. People don't really realize it, I guess, because it's never really used. When we tether someone after using our ult mantra thing, it instantly heals for 20% of our missing health, plus then another 20% if the tether finishes and roots them. We can also use it on our shield for an AoE shield in a team fight, and that is great. So that's why we don't die. What about the damage side of things though? Well, usually we buy a tier anyway, so we can spam our stuff. We have some AP from Archangels, so that kind of increases our damage, but then we also get an Iceborne Gauntlet. Yeah, I know, the typical, let's turn a non-tank champ into a tank. The Sheen procs are easy enough because we have low cooldown spells, and we can just kite for days. You won't be killing anyone quickly with this build, let's just get that out of the way, but you won't die, and eventually they are going to. This is an insane build at the moment. Like, honestly, on the level of that kind of tank echo, it's worthy of that kind of a video. So while it's fun and while it's weird, it is super good. So we have 2 more pretty troll, pretty fun, but good picks left. Nautilus, Devourer, Ginzu's Rageblade, Jungle is next up. Have you ever seen a Nautilus attack this fast before? Because 1, it legit hurts, and 2, it's absolutely hilarious. You are a lot lower health than normal, but you will kill things so fast, it is crazy. Nautilus has an AP scaling on all of his abilities, and you actually gain AP on Ginzu's as you're stacking it up, so you'll be doing more auto attack damage with Devourer and the Ginzu side of things, plus your Q, W, E, and ult will all do more too. You have that shield for a bit of extra natural tankiness, if that's even a word. I don't think it is, but plus after all those 2 items you have more than enough damage, so you can just go nuts and build full tank. Remember as well, your shield even makes your autos do more damage, which we use even more when we're attacking at 100 miles an hour. His clear is actually good with this. It takes a little longer to stack than most Devourer junglers. I think that's kind of obvious, but it's definitely worthwhile. The good thing is, because of his kit, while yeah, the sated parts come a bit later, I guess, we can gank way more. We have a lot of lockdown and good base damage, so we can actually get ahead that way. This is kind of what makes him pretty different and what makes up for the slow stacking, really. Most Devourer junglers like Yi, Shyvana and stuff, they don't really have any crowd control, but they are good farmers but bad gankers. Nautilus is a good ganker, plus when he gets his Devourer, he has crowd control to lock them in place while he kills them. So basically, you gank early, you use that crowd control you have, then you farm up your Devourer and turn from a crowd control machine into a killing machine. There's just something so satisfying about killing somebody as a Nautilus where you whack so insanely fast. I have no idea, I just love it. So the last one is mid lane Soraka, and I'm sorry, but if you play this, you are a dick. I hate this champion. I just can't. Like, she's so dumb and horrible to play against. Even Foxy could play this mid lane and win a game. That is how easy she is. I know I bully Fox way too much, but I love him really. So as a support, we are actually maxing our Q now anyway. The sustain is ridiculous, like the health regen back, and it does some decent damage too, so we can basically heal more often because we get more health back. Her abilities have a stupid AP ratio after the changes. They aren't like too high. It's actually 35% on her Q, 60% on her heal though, 40% on her E, and 55% on her ult. So her heals are better with AP basically. Abilities slightly kind of, but her abilities have a very high base damage already because Riot aren't really expecting you to build AP, so it's supposed to cover that bit up. It's also because your Q is on such a low cooldown, so you're spamming it all the time. It doesn't really need to be loaded with a huge AP ratio to make one of them hurt because you're going to hit 2 or 3 in a short space of time. The mid lane pick really works because of the self-sustain, the regen on your Q. It does good damage, it's good harass, plus you then heal back anything you've taken from that trade. It's also the most obnoxious pick ever. If you're the kind of person who loves to just annoy everyone else in a game, then Soraka is going to be the pick for you. In lane, you're poke, and more poke. In team fights, you have that silence, you have the heal, the poke. Basically everything that Soraka does normally, just even better. You heal for more, you poke for more, and you're just taking one of the most difficult champions to deal with and making it even harder. So that wraps up 5 weird builds that actually work. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun making it, honestly. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, share, but for now, let's go to the robots.